All right, so we should have our table of contents filled out. Raise your hand if you need more time filling out your table of contents. Come on, quickly. That should have been done. Okay, so our table of contents. Yes?
So if it is like a positive and a negative way, we will be multiplying and dividing.
We're going to talk about what that's going to look like. I think you're making it harder. Yes.
Will we do the homework too?
Yes, we're going to try to get everything done together. All right. So guys, just a quick reminder. We've been talking about same signs and different signs here, where my same sign, if I circle the signs, that's that plus minus where we change it. If I'm adding, subtracting, if they're the same, we add. If they're different, we subtract. Remember, plus, add, and positive are the same type of thing, right? Minus, subtract, and negative are the same type of thing, correct? So when I'm multiplying and dividing, this rule still works. The only problem is when I'm multiplying and dividing, can I add or subtract? No, so we had to tweak it a little bit, which is why down here where it says multiply, divide, it just means, hey, positive is what you're going to get. Negative is what you're going to get. All right, the good thing about this is that means you don't have to look for the big number. Right? You don't have to change any signs around. There isn't any work to do unless you need to multiply big numbers or divide big numbers, okay? So based on what we just kind of saw and what we talked about at the beginning when y'all came in, make sure this is number 23. Number 23. When we're multiplying and dividing, if your two numbers have the same sign, what type of answer should you get, Fernando?
You will get a positive.
A positive answer. Because we can't say addition, positive. We can't say addition since we are multiplying and dividing, but we can say, hey, my answer is going to be like addition where it's a positive. All right? If they have different signs, what type of answer will I need, Shelby? A negative. Guys, that is the only rule. You multiply the same way you've always multiplied. You divide the same way you've always divided. All right? So let's look at number 1 real quick. Number 1. All right? Angel, I'm going to get you to help me out here, even though we haven't even done one yet, okay? On number 1, if I look at these two numbers, do they have the same signs or do they have different signs? They have different signs, right? So if I look up here, and we actually have to do this first. Is my answer going to be positive or negative for number 1? Negative. They have different signs, so I'm going to get a negative answer. You okay with that? All right, here's my work. I wrote a negative sign. That is it. Now I'm going to multiply like normal. So, Angel, what that means is what is 5 times 2? 10. And then I write my 10.
That's easy.
That is all you're doing. Decide, are they the same or are they different? And then multiply or divide. Okay? And that's my answer. Okay? So, Malin, I'm going to get you to help me out. I know your hand's up. I'm going to get you to help me out, okay? On number 2, do these have the same signs or do they have different signs? Same. Guys, do I care about that multiplication dot? No. Multiplication isn't positive or negative. I don't care about that. Okay? So, these are the same sign, right, Malin? So, what type of answer am I going to have? Thank you, Malin. Please make sure I only hear the voice I call on. So we get a positive answer, right? So do I need to write anything down here? Nope. So, Malin, what is 8 times 3?
24.
24. And that's all we write. That is our answer. That is it. All right? Malin. Okay. Let's look at number 3. So, guys, and you'll notice I also wrote multiplication different ways. We've seen it with dots before, and we've seen it next to each other like this, so this still means multiplication. Do you have a question, Valentina?
How do you know if they're not putting on a negative or
Okay, so, Valentina, on number 3, do they have the same signs or do they have different signs? Different signs. So, what type of answer am I going to get? A negative, so I'm going to put a negative sign. And now, what's 8 times 1? 8. So do you see how you look at it to decide if it's positive or negative first, and then you multiply or divide? For adding and subtracting, we would pick our sign at the end. For multiplying and dividing, we pick it at the beginning. Okay? All right. Number 4, Harper. Do these have same signs or different signs?
Different.
They have different signs. So what type of answer will I get?
Negative.
A negative. So I'm going to write my negative. And Harper, what is 48 divided by 4? 12. So that's my answer.
How do you get A on number
8 times 1 is 8.
3? Why do you do multiplication?
Because they're right next to each other. Remember? Yes. Quickly, please. Number 5. Jaden, on number 5, are they the same signs or are they different? Different? So Jaden, will I have a positive answer or a negative answer? Negative. They're different, so I'm going to put a negative sign. And Jaden, what is 12 divided by 6? 2. When I'm doing my multiplying or dividing, am I talking about the positive or negatives anymore? No. We already put that in our answer, so we're done with that. All right. Tyler, on number 6, same signs or different signs? Same signs. So what type of answer should I get, positive or negative?
Positive.
It's going to be a positive answer since they're the same sign. So I don't have to write anything down. What is 108 divided by 9? 108 divided by 9. You can raise your hand if you know this answer. Fernando?
It's going to be 12.
It's 12. All right. I am going to go ahead and tell you 108 and 9 and 12 are some of my favorite numbers to use. 9 times 12 equals 108, and that's one of those math facts we were supposed to know at the beginning of the year. If it's one that we tend to forget, like 9 times 12 is a big one, 7 times 8 we get mixed up with 6 times 9. So just be careful about some of those, okay? All right. Because we're not using those calculators anymore, so we got to go back and remember the rules.
We're not using calculators?
No calculators. No, sir.
No more in the year?
Mm-mm.
So no, you just have to any more this year?
No more this year until we start doing 9 weeks test stuff. Okay? All right. On number 7. Number 7. Sarah, do I have same signs or different signs? On number 7. The same, because I have a minus 15 and a minus 5. Right? So those are the same sign. So should I have a positive answer or a negative answer? A positive answer, so I don't have to write anything down. And Sarah, what is 15 divided by 5? 3. So that's it. That's all we write. 3. Okay. Number 8, Addison. Same signs or different signs? Same sign. So what type of answer should I have? A positive answer. Very good. And what is 3 times 9? 27. Okay. Question, Aaron? All right, number 9. Number 9, Sean. Do I have same signs or different signs here? Different signs. So what type of answer should I get? A negative. So I'm going to write my negative. All right, and Sean, what is 100 divided by 20? 5. Very good. It's 5. Because it's not by 2. 100 divided by 2 would be 50, but by 20 is just 5. Okay? All right, number 10 and 11 look like they're tricky. They're not meant to be tricky, but we do have to remember what that little bitty number means. If I have negative 9 to the second power, what does that mean? Gabby? Close. Very close. Malin? Close. That's kind of what Gabby said. Aaron? Davis?
9 times 2.
Does not mean 9 times 2. Brady?
9 with 2 zeros.
Fernando?
9 divided by 2.
Addison?
9 times 9.
All right, that's what Gabby said. 9 times 9 is very, very close. That's the closest thing I've heard, but there's something wrong with saying 9 times 9. Harper?
Negative 9 times negative 9.
That's a negative sign there.
Oh.
So when I write it, I've got to write negative 9 times negative 9. Now, guys, when you see that exponent, I want to see where you wrote it out, okay? So this is when, remember, like on the adding, subtracting, sometimes we have to mark out the problem. This is where you would mark out the problem. This is where you need work, okay? All right, so now it says negative times negative 9. Are these the same sign, or are they different signs, Morelli? They're the same sign. So, Morelli, what type of answer will I get? A positive and what number? 9 times 9 is? 81. So I get a positive 81. Now, guys, number 11 is a little tricky. Guys, how many numbers have we multiplied or divided in every single problem? 2. When we're talking about same signs or different signs, it's kind of like, has anyone ever played the matching game where you match? Not Go Fish, but where you put a bunch of your cards down and you have to pick the matches.
Oh, yeah.
And you can and how many cards can you flip at a time? 2. That's exactly what this is like. We can only look at 2 numbers at a time. All right? So,
Is it called speed or something?
something like that. I don't remember.
Memory.
All right. Memory. That's it. Thank you. All right. So let's look at number 11 real quick, and I want you to remember, number 11, when we're working this, we have to work it kind of like the rules of memory. I can only flip 2 cards at a time. I can only look at 2 numbers at a time, okay? So on number 11, raise your hand if you can tell me, how will I write that out? How will I write that one out? Number 11. Diego?
Negative 2 times and then you
I know.
Look at what number is next to that negative 2?
negative 2 again.
And negative 2 again. There we go. Because it says to the third, so we need 3 of them. Okay. So now this is where we're going to use those memory rules. I can only do 2 at a time. So we're going to do the first 2 numbers. When I look at my first 2 numbers, what do I get, Malin? 4. And I love how she said 4. Positive, because they're the same sign, right? So I get 4. I still have a negative 2 here, guys. Now, do I have the same sign or do I have different signs, Morelli? I have different signs. So, Fernando, since they're different signs, what type of answer should I get here?
You should get a negative answer, which is that's going to be negative 8.
Negative 8. All right. Do you see how, here, when it was an odd number, I had a negative left over, so I kind of ended up with a negative answer. If it's an even number, everything has a match, like in memory, and it's going to end up being even. Okay? All right. What I want y'all to do, I'm going to pause my recording in just a moment. I want us to spend the next 5 minutes. 10 minutes working as much as we can on the back. All right, so for 10 minutes, you're going to work as many as you can, and then that'll give us 10 minutes to go over them. Okay, so I'm going to pause my recording to give us 10 minutes. All right, I know a lot of y'all are still working, but I do want us to start talking about these just so we have plenty of time to go through all of them. I'm going to start with number 1, and the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to go up and down the row. So every single person is going to participate. All right? So guys, the longer I have to take to explain it, the longer it's going to take us to do them, the less we get to finish, okay? So this is what I need. If you raise your hand, the only reason that we should be raising our hand is if we have a question about a problem. Not, can I do number 5, because I'm going to call the next person in the row. Raise your hand if you have a question, because we need to stop and talk about it. Are we good with that? All right. So, Harper, I'm going to start with you on number 1. On number 1, am I going to get a positive answer or a negative answer? A negative answer, because they're different signs. I'm going to write my negative. And Harper, when I do 8 times 25, did you get that answer? What do we get? 200. And I like the number 25 because I can think of it like quarters. If I have 8 quarters, that's $2 or 200 cents. Okay? Very good. Brady, I need you to have a seat, please. All right, number 2, Davis, on number 2, should I get a positive answer or a negative answer? Positive, because they're the same sign. And what is 33 divided by 3? Close. 33 divided by 3. 11. Very good. All right. Aaron, number 3. Am I going to get a positive answer or a negative answer? A positive answer. And 13 times 1 is? 13. Excellent. All right, Addison, if we can stop that. Thank you. All right, Tyler, number 4. Am I going to get a positive answer or a negative answer? A negative because they're different signs. And what is 24 divided by 4? 24 divided by 4. You multiplied them. Make sure we divide. 24, how many times will 4 go into it? 6 times. Perfect. So I get negative 6 there. So just be careful. Make sure we're dividing, not multiplying. All right. So now, Brady, you had already kind of talked to me about number 5. On number 5, can I get a positive or a negative? No. Why not? There's a 0. And what's anything times 0? 0. Nothing. It's 0. So we do make sure we write 0. We can't just leave it blank. Make sure we put a 0 there. Remember, 0 is not positive or negative, so we just need 0. Do you have a question, Fernanda?
Yeah, number 1. I've got 240.
All right, if you have 8 quarters, Fernando, how much money is that? So remember, 4 quarters is $1. Then 4 more quarters is $1. So that's $2, which is 200 cents. Yes. On number 5? Yeah. All right, so the issue is 0 positive or negative? And what's 0 times 5? 0. What's 0 times 11? 0. What's 0 times 256? 0. So what's 0 times negative 4? 0. It's just 0. Anything times 0 is 0. I could do a smiley face. Times 0 is 0. X times 0 is 0. Okay? So we're on number 6. Addison, should I get a positive or negative on number 6? A negative because they're different signs. Addison, did you get 15 times 8 worked out? It is 120, yes. All right. Now, guys, I probably couldn't do that in my head very easily. So when I worked 15 times 8, I wrote it out like that. Remember my long multiplication? 8 times 5 is 40. I carried the 4. 8 times 1 and 8 plus 4 is 12. So that's where I got my 120 from. All right. Number 7. Malin on number 7. All right. It is tempting to say negative because they are two different signs, right? But when I do 0 divided by negative 12, what do I get? Okay, so what number do I get? I just get 0. Remember, 0 isn't positive or negative. It's just 0. You're dividing it by 12. All right. Fernando, on number 8, am I going to get a positive or am I going to get a negative?
You are going to get a positive because they're the same sign.
They're the same, and 1 times 1 is?
Obviously 1.
Obviously 1. So I get 1 as an answer. All right. Jose, on number 9, am I going to get a positive or am I going to get a negative? A positive, because they're the same. And what is 16 divided by 1? 16. Very, very good. Okay. All right, Shelby, number 10. Am I going to get a positive or a negative? A negative. And have you had a chance to work out that division? All right, what did you get when you did 240 divided by 8? Okay, so let's see what happened there, and I think that's a really good, let's look at that. I'm glad you said that. So we have 8, and we're dividing that into 240. Can y'all see where I'm doing that work? Okay. All right, so Shelby, will 8 go into 2? No. So we can put a little X there or just skip it. Can 8 go into 24? Yes. All right, how many times? Shelby's the only one answering right now. 3. So now I have 3 times 8, which is 24. And when you subtracted, you got 0, which is why you stopped. But do I still have a number there? Yes, there's nothing on top, so I have to bring that number down. And Shelby, how many times will 8 go into 0? 0 times, which gives me 0. So what do I actually end up with? 30. So guys, remember, if there's a space for a number, like here, you have to fill that 0 in. Okay? Good job. All right, question, Fernando?
I've got 25 because
okay, but look, here's our work.
I was thinking of number 1.
Okay, so just be careful with that. All right, let's keep our shirt fixed. Diego, on number 11. Number 11, what do I need to do first? The first two. And when I multiply those first two, like in memory, the little matching game, what do I get there, Diego? Positive or negative? Negative, because they're different signs. So I get negative 35. And then we still have to do times negative 4. So, Diego, for my final answer, am I going to get a positive or a negative? I'm going to get positive for the final part because now I have same signs. And what's 35 times 4 give me, Diego? Okay, so let's kind of go over to the side, and you can do this on your paper. I'm going to do it up on the board. So we have 35 times 4. So when we multiply 4 times 5, Diego, what do we get? 20, so I put my 0, carry my 2. 4 times 3? 12 plus the 2? 14, so I end up with 140. Did you multiply it out like this, or did you try to do it in your head?
I tried to do it in my head, but I was thinking mostly I can't because I was thinking...
Can't do that in our head. We're going to have to write that out, okay?
I was thinking,
All right, number 12, Alicia. Am I going to get a positive or a negative here? Negative. They're different signs. Awesome. And what is 12 divided by 3? 4. Perfect. So I get negative 4. Excellent job. All right, Valentina, am I going to get a positive or a negative? On number 13, positive or negative? Positive, because they're the same sign. And what is 3 times 5? 15. Excellent job. All right. All right, on number 14, Sean, am I going to get a positive or a negative? A negative, and 7 times 3? Perfect. So you get negative 21. On number 15, Morelli has got a 0. What do I get as an answer? 0. Those 0 problems we like. Multiplication and division is just 0. Easy. All right. Chase, for number 16, am I going to get a positive or a negative? Positive. And 5 times 7 is? 35. Excellent job. Okay. Angel, on number 17, am I going to get a positive or a negative? A negative. And 8 times 2 is? It's okay. Very good. Negative 16. Awesome. All right, it's always hard to do math when the pressure is on like that. All right. Yes? Yes? All right? No. Sarah, on number 18, before I just get my answer, how do I need to rewrite number 18? Right, negative 5 twice. Excellent job. So that's my new problem. And Sarah, is that going to give me a positive or a negative? A positive and 5 times 5? Not adding, times 25. Very good. All right. Diana, you get the challenge. How should I rewrite 19? Negative 3, 3 times, gentlemen. Okay. All right, and Diana, I did my negative 3 3 times. What am I going to do first now? We're going to do the first 2 3s like the matching game. Negative 3 times negative 3. What does that give me, Diana? A 9, and it's just a 9 positive. So now I have a positive and a negative. So what type of answer is my final answer? It's negative, and 9 times 3 is? 27. Perfect job. All right? Yes. We're going to get there. We can keep going, all right? On number, do not pack up or I'll hold you late, Chase. All right, on number 20, I'm going to skip up Jaden for my first 2 numbers. What's 4 times negative 2 give me? Negative 8. And then we have to do negative 8 times negative 3. Now they have the same sign, so what do I get? 24. Excellent job. All right, number 21, that should have been a 4. Gabby, what am I going to get for the answer on 21? Negative 4. All right, number 22, McKenna. Positive 4. Number 23, Harper. Negative 3. Number 24, Davis. Positive 2. Positive 2. All right, number 25. These are kind of tricky. You got to fill it in. Aaron, what'd you get for 25? A positive 5 because we need different signs. 26, Brady.
26 like that. Negative 8.
Negative 8 is not what I'm looking for. 26, what'd you get, Fernando?
26, I got 9.
Not 9. Davis? Negative 9. What about 27? 27 is tricky.
I'm in that for 48. I'm just negative.
27, what do we get for 27? Harper?
Negative 4.
Not negative 4. Remember, I'm dividing by 20. It's actually going to be much bigger. Fernando?
It's going to be...
It's not 4. Davis? It's not 4. I've got to divide it by 20. Guys, can 20 go into 4?
I know.
No. Addison?
Wait.
100. Now, guys, that 100, if I have a positive answer, they have to match. So it needs to be negative.
And 28 is negative.
And my last one is a negative 8. 8 times 8 is 64 with a different sign. All right, guys, awesome job.